Who? What?
Hunt!
All right. Hunt it.
Hunt!
Hunt it. Welcome back to the DSoG vlog.
How about them boys?
This is episode 10. I am Brooks.
They them
My
boys.
in-game
They
name
them boys.
is Camel Hunt, and I'm joined here by our two co-hosts. Go ahead, boys.
I'm Ken. In-game name is Beckraj.
I am Carlitos. In-name game is DSoG Big Boy.
And it's gonna stay that way.
It's going to stay that way. Every single time a new champ comes out or a champ
is
gets
reworked.
Carlitos says he has found his new mate. He said that with Evelyn. He said that with Orn. Let's see. Did you say that with Kane? I think you did.
I said that with Kane. I said that with Zaya.
Good Lord.
And he hasn't really played a lot of
League.
any of those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, dude, literally.
I always go back to Thresh, Kate, and Jinx.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And you know what? That's okay.
Those are good champions.
Yeah.
Ken and I played some games over the weekend, and we lost all of them.
Dude,
I had a good time. It was still fun. It
I
wasn't
had a good
horrible.
time.
But we lost every single one, which was 3, and that was like Brooks hitting his quota for like a week of League of
We
Legends.
lost all 3. I thought we won the one that I jungled.
No, I played Castle and I got my ass ate, dude.
You did play
That was bad.
Oh, man.
It was real bad. But yeah, it was a very, very exciting game. Exciting weekend for professional League of Legends.
My gosh.
Oh my
15
god.
games.
This was by far the best weekend for professional League of Legends in North America that I think I've seen in the longest time. As far as an irregular split is concerned. I mean, what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy?
I don't think we've had this level of competition ever.
Yeah, it was really close. How many? There was a tie for first between Echo Fox and 100 Thieves, and then there was a tie. There was like a four-way tie for
third.
3 through 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you were unaware, if you were not able to watch the games this weekend, 100 Thieves beat Echo Fox twice this past weekend and have finished the split in first place. 100 Brooks's favorite team won the split. Hell yeah.
That's pretty
I do want to mention something real quick about 100 Thieves. Prawley, their head coach, was on Hotline League with Travis and Mark yesterday, and they said that merch for 100 Thieves is coming out soon. So when that does,
I want a jersey.
I am
Really
buying
bad.
some 100 Thieves merch. They have this windbreaker that is just incredible looking. Like
I want an
this
Afro
camo windbreaker.
so bad.
Beautiful.
No, that's like the cool thing though. Is like 100 Thieves, like Nate Shot. That was like it was like a clothing brand before it was esports. So like he has like those kind of connections already. But so 100 Thieves finished in first place. Echo Fox finished in second. TSM in third. Team Liquid, the meme will never die, finished in fourth place. Literally the only place that they ever
keeps on memeing.
Yeah, the meme that will never stop giving. Like, it's truly the greatest.
Right keeps trying to kill memes this
They'll never kill that
like
one.
this last year and a half, and this is the meme that just won't die.
They tried so hard.
And then
Liquid
closing
tried
out
so hard
the
to kill me.
playoff teams, we had Cloud9 finishing in 5th, dropping down quite a bit, and also Clutch Gaming dropping down as well, finishing in 6th.
So upset about that.
Yeah, Cloud9 and Clutch really. I mean, Clutch, a team that was very, very consistent throughout the entire split, but just couldn't win in those like playoff decider matches. And then Cloud9 just looking not very good in the second half of the split. So, but that's not really what we're going to focus on this episode. These are the playoff teams. Anything can happen once playoffs hits this weekend. Literally anything. Obviously, this weekend we're going to have some amalgamation of TSM, TL, Cloud9, Clutch playing each other. I don't know if we know who actually is playing each other
TL
yet.
plays C9, TSM plays Clutch.
Yeah, okay. Those are going to be really good games. TL versus C9, I think, is going to be the series to
Do
watch.
we want to roll
Um,
straight into predictions since we're already here?
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, let's do our
Let's do
predictions right
that.
now. That's a good idea.
Um,
Yeah. All right, we'll say, let's go with TSM versus Clutch first.
All right, that's the second match. That's the match on Sunday.
Yeah.
These are best of fives. I think previously
No,
for
no.
quarters-
Are these best of threes or best
No,
of
these
fives?
are best of fives. I'm on LoL Esports right now, and it says.
Oh,
Best of
wow.
fives. Previously
Wow.
for quarterfinals, they've only been best
That's
of
good.
threes. I
That's
do
good.
like the change to being best of
Yeah,
five.
for sure.
And personally, I think that best of five is going to be better for TSM.
Absolutely.
Clutch really only has one way to play the game right now.
Try to get
Yeah.
to that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's
Well,
it.
their mid game is good.
I mean,
the
their mid
thing
game
about
is
Clutch,
good, but their mid game is good in that it stalls out to
Right.
the
Until
late
late
game.
It
yeah.
brings them to late game.
It does. It's not
which
like
is
they
where they can
win in the mid game,
Right.
Yeah.
right? They fall behind early, play well in the mid game to like get a lead after
Yeah.
falling behind, and then they win.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
But
why
who
I
wins
favor
this match?
TSM. So like, let's say I think it's probably gonna be a 4-game
I say four
series.
games,
Yeah,
3-1
4-1.
TSM.
3-1.
3-1.
The 3-1.
3-1.
That's what I meant. Because
it's a 5-game
TSM's gonna
series
win
in TSM.
a fourth
TSM's
game.
going to win 4-1. Yeah.
no, TSM, they can get an early lead on Clutch, and they can keep it. Like they've shown, like the TSM that everybody thought would happen
It's
has
happening.
come.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
I gave
yeah, for sure.
Bjergsen a ton of shit in the beginning of the season,
I mean,
We all did. We all did.
and
yeah.
in the last 3 weeks, I mean, he just exploded.
He's
He's in a better. I've never seen him playing this well.
What was his? Someone
I
posted on
would
Reddit
make the
his
argument
KDA.
for season 4 or season 5 when he had that pentakill on Karma, when Karma mid was OPOP. The
I
first
don't
time
remember
around.
that.
He
I'll be
didn't
honest.
play around his team well enough.
No, but I think he played better individually then.
Probably. True.
Okay. Well, I value the team play higher.
That was
than
also-
individual play.
In defense of the other players that split, that was probably also before mid laners in NA got real good.
True.
You know, because mid laners in NA are real good now.
Yeah, it was basically.
So it was probably high. Was probably really good at the time, and then Jensen had probably just come onto the scene.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess if Jensen was around, then High was playing
jungle
something
or
different.
support.
Yeah.
No,
So it was,
this
and
is the
Poe
CL
Belter.
board.
Well, Poe
Jensen.
Belter would have been on CLG, so Poe Belter would have been really good then.
He was good.
But
I
yeah,
give this,
I
give
think
this a TSM.
yeah, I think TSM wins this one. I think this is the TSM that everyone has been expecting. I honestly would not be surprised to see TSM win the split. Would not surprise me at all if they did it. Yeah, I think TSM wins this. I think that it's going to be a super interesting matchup though with Febivin and Bjergsen specifically. I think that if Haunser can just shit on solo, and then Bjergsen and Febivin are going to go even. Haunser's probably going to beat solo. Mike Young and Lyra, I actually think would probably go even. I don't think Lyra's been the jungler that he has been in the past. I don't think he's the jungler of last year. And then I think the bottom lane, Mivy and Sven have this really, really good habit of they're really good at getting a lead without making it seem like they have a lead. Does that make sense? Like they're not going to 2v2 the opponent, but they're going to come out of it in a stronger place than their lane opponent.
It's weird, like, if you don't pay attention to Sven and Mithy, and then it's 12 minutes, somehow
They've
the bot
beaten
tower
the
falls.
I feel
Like,
like
I don't
that's
know
just-
how it
I feel like
happens.
that's just TSM in general. That's always been how they are. They don't like they get little victories in lane that just add up, and then like 10 minutes passes and they're winning.
Yeah,
I think that's how Bjergsen is. I think that's how their bot lane is. Haunser wins. When he wins, like
He
it's
wins big,
Flashy,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
big.
but like
But
Yeah.
the other two lanes, I'll agree with you.
and
there.
Mike Young also to an extent. Like you don't really see Mike Young solo killing the other jungler as much.
I think Mike Young has been in form too recently
Mm-hmm.
that I can't make a judgment on how he wins the game.
Okay.
Like, he's obviously winning. I just can't say this is how he does it.
Yeah.
Like I can with Björn Hanser and Sven.
Yeah.
Murphy.
I
Okay.
think someone posted on Reddit something, or one of the analysts said something like along the lines of like Sven and Miffy at like 15 minutes they've taken the bottom tier tower as Ezreal Braum versus Caitlyn Morgana, and it's
Yeah.
like this is not supposed to happen.
No.
Like this is like a double. This is like a double counter. This is not supposed to happen, but somehow they did it. Like you know what I mean? But they have 0 kills.
And no one's like watching the bottom lane because they have no kills.
Yeah.
They also haven't really like even forced summoners. It's weird. You don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's really
All right.
cool
Well,
to
let's
watch.
move on to the other one, which is probably going to be. I mean, I think both of these matches are going to be really, really good. But I
don't
actually think
this match is
that
going to be as good. I think Team Liquid has this in the bag.
really.
Yeah. I if you look at like C9's record,
They 3 and 5 in the
6.
second half.
they're like
3 and 6.
they're 4 and 10 if you include the tiebreakers.
You're right. They
Or
lost.
no, they are not 4 and 10, but their record.
It's not looking good.
Fine.
It's looking like Brothers Vin recently.
It really
honestly.
has. And
It's looking
also,
like Brothers Vin.
Licorice hasn't looked good either.
Yeah, that's been a real sore spot for them. I actually think this is one of the reasons why Licorice could be considered for not being Rookie of the Split. But
Right.
I mean, but we'll get to that later. But
Yeah,
Licorice has not looked good on tanks, not
No.
at all, which is so strange to me. Like, because this was a guy who was engaging
Some
so
people have a
well
hard
earlier
time
in the
playing
split.
Tanks, man.
yeah.
Don't hate.
Are you talking about yourself?
I'm not talking
I
about
think
anyone.
you are.
What
I
are
think
you
he
talking
is.
about?
My God.
I can play Tank Jarvan.
And then like you really have to question also like if we're gonna approach this in a situation that like Smoothie may be like the main voice of the team. I know that he's said in interviews he's been like we really don't have like a main shot caller along with most other teams.
He needs
But-
to become it.
Yeah. And
No.
but you really have to question like is his play suffering because something's going wrong in the way that they're calling the game. So, I don't know. I think this one's super hard to predict because I really don't know. I'm hesitant to say either team will win, honestly.
I'm not. I think
I think
C9 has been going down, and their weakness of the jungle is, I think, probably TL's strongest point. I think.
But let's
Smithy-
not forget Sven Skaren gets his playoff buff.
Well,
I'm
so
just
does
saying.
Impact.
It's true. And Impact is almost
Impact's playoff buff is
Playoff.
going to
Impact-
smash.
This is
I
why
think
I'm-
Impact got his playoff buff like a week or two ago.
No,
Actually.
it was
I think
like
he's been looking a lot
it's like
better.
It's like Goku in Dragon Ball Super. He hadn't really finished the Ultra Instinct form yet.
I need to watch Dragon Ball Z.
You
I have
do,
no
man.
idea
It's
what's
so
going
good.
on. Like,
And so, like
Oh,
now
man, this is
that Goku or Impact has finished his playoff buff, like it's time for playoffs.
he's
No chance.
I
Licorice
mean,
is-
it's
this is
just
gonna
gonna-
be. Oh, it's
I'm
gonna
so
be
happy because
it's gonna be
Pro
illegal.
Meltzer needs another title. Like, he worked so hard on
you
it
know who
once.
else does though? All of the members of 100 Thieves. So we'll get to that later. But
That's
all
a
right.
next
Well,
week topic.
okay. I think you guys have convinced me. I think that
I think
TL maybe edges them out slightly, but I would not be surprised if C9 wins either.
Oh, I'm not. I won't be surprised if any of the other teams that we predict win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think these are all gonna be 4 or 5 game series. But
I hope so. I want to see the fucking hype, man. I want to experience all of it. Yeah. Let's move on though.
breaking
Go.
news. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Limited release of 100 Thieves merchandise is gonna happen at 12 p.m. Pacific time on March 24th. So
Right.
hopefully we can
I'm
get
ready.
that stuff in before finals and rep 100 Thieves when they're in the finals.
I'm
I'm repping 100
Not-
Thieves.
not.
If they make it to the final, even if they're playing against TSM,
Ken is
I'm
not
repping
repping,
100
dude.
Thieves.
I'm repping.
I'm probably. gonna
100
be
Thieves
wearing
is
an
my
Immortals jersey.
favorite team. Like,
I'm like almost positive I'll be wearing an Immortals jersey at the finals.
rest in peace, dude.
Not because.
All right, well, we're going to move on. So, in a little bit of a different fashion than the usual way that we conduct, that we go about episodes, we usually do a team, then we do a player, then we do a general question. But for this week, we're going to instead focus on handing out what we would consider the Dirty South Gaming Awards for all NA LCS Pro teams, MVP, and then also Rookie of the Split. And then we're also going to tag on one after Rookie of the Split, which is like underrated players or overrated players throughout the split. So, and to maybe spice it up a little bit, I think it'd be good if we all agreed on the choices that we make, so that we can argue for who we want, convince the other one, convince everybody else. So we're gonna make the definitive DSoG list of all NALCS Pro teams 1 through 3. So yeah,
Wait, we're
let's
doing
get
all
to it.
3 pro teams.
We can do just the one. If you
I
want.
think we should just do one.
Just the one? Okay. So we're going to do the number 1 all in LCS Pro Team. So, yeah, let's get to it. Let's start in the top lane. So, who are some of the top laners we had to look at here? Obviously, Huni. It's going to be a big one. Haunser. I think someday
I don't
should
think
probably...
I don't think Haunter's going to get it,
Yeah.
but I think he needs to be in the conversation.
Okay.
Because of how well he has been playing. I'm not saying he should be like top. He might be like second team or third team, but
okay.
not necessarily first team. I'm just saying he needs to be in the conversation.
Okay.
I mean,
I think...
I was just saying that, like, if we're gonna talk about number 1, we should talk about number 1.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you have to also say who else is in the conversation.
Right? Yeah.
And I think...
Well, that's also a question I wanted to ask you guys is, like, why is blank player not there?
Yeah.
Like, why is...
Darshan should be considered for number 1.
Ooh. Okay. Why?
He consistently played well. Like, when the rest of CLG looked like shit, he looked good. And then when CLG started looking good, he either looked good or the reason why he looked bad is because he drew so much attention away from the enemy team. So very similar to what Huni did for Fox, but I think he shined brighter because it was harder to shine. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And that's why
I'm not going to say you're wrong. But can we really say that Huni was not the best top laner in the league? Can we really definitively say that?
No. I mean, so I always have my personal pick, and then I have, like...
The pick that you think is... Yeah.
And objectively, Huni is number 1.
But I think that we should really...
Darshan.
I think that we should really discuss Huni, though, because in the tank meta that has been up for about 4 or 5 weeks now, he's not playing tanks. He's not playing what the team necessarily needs him to do. And he's playing picks that is not as effective as, the Scion. He's playing a lot of Trundle.
He made Echo Fox win that game, though. This past weekend. Like, if he had not, 1v4'd people as Swain, they would have lost that first match. But
is Echo Fox's slump a symptom of the rest of the team, or is it a symptom of Huni? Is kind of my question.
Oh, I don't think it's a symptom of the other 4. I don't think it's a symptom of Huni. I think it's a symptom of all 5. I think they're all slipping. I don't remember who talked about this. It might have been Bjergsen who talked about how Equifox had it too easy for too long, and they never grew.
Yeah.
Kind of like Immortals did their first split. Like, it was too easy.
It's too easy.
And same thing with Equifox. Like, they're a good team. They've got the talent. I'm not even saying that, like, they're toxic or anything. They just never hit another level because it was too easy for them.
It's too easy.
What are your thoughts, Carl? Who do you think is the best top laner? Because actually, Ken's argument for Darshan is kind of convincing, personally.
I think...
Because I love CLG, but...
I think that would make Darshan a great MVP candidate.
Okay.
But not necessarily best top laner.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Because he's more valuable to his team, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're the best top laner.
But I wouldn't even say that Darshan was the most valuable player to CLG, though.
I mean,
I think the most valuable player to CLG was Biofrost. So how can you make the argument for...
if you look at the last
I
2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
But if you're looking at the season as a whole, I would say Darshan is more valuable.
I agree.
Okay.
But again, we're talking about top laners. I want to say Huni, but for the same reasons that y'all are saying, I can't, because he was doing the Korean split push Gnar build, but then not playing it right in game. He was building he was building Sterax on Gnar, which isn't melee only item.
Yeah, someone tweeted about that.
So and
I wonder who else thought that Sterax on Gnar was a good idea.
I there's just a lot of
Ugh.
there's just a lot of stuff that
He played Yasuo!
Yeah,
Like,
he did play
yeah.
Yasuo.
He inted on Yasuo. He was 0-3.
So I want to say he's the best because I think if he played the role properly and played what his team needed to, he would be the best. But he doesn't have the coma belt to deal with, and so he's not doing it. So I can't say he's the best because results show that he wasn't the best, especially later in the season.
Well, let's look at some other people, because
I just don't think anybody else compares, though.
Yeah, because that's what I'm kind of thinking. Because I think the other person that should be in this conversation would be Someday.
See, much like with Haunter, I think there were too many issues in the beginning of the split with Someday's play, that removes him from the MVP, from the best top laner of the split, and that's why I think Huni and Darshan can be considered, because it's a split long thing, and even Huni's issues, while they may not have been a problem until recently, they're the same issues that existed at the beginning and now.
But he was able to carry
that existed then and now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
will not consider Haunter for the #1 spot. Like, I don't care what you have to say.
I won't.
I'm not considering him. I'm not. I feel bad for putting Haunter, or for saying, sorry, I feel bad for putting Huni. It feels bad to put Huni as my #1 because his team has struggled so much
in the last 3 weeks.
And he hasn't, and there are things he could have done to prevent that, and he didn't.
I just don't feel like the top lane was in a good spot.
Yeah, I was about to say
I think
that.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think that the top lane's been in a meta where they've really shined very much. Yeah. So it's really hard to say.
I agree.
Personally, because I really don't, I think that, I think it's hard. I mean, I feel like someone like Flame had a pretty good split.
Yeah.
He just was on FlyQuest, and FlyQuest is garbage. Or, I'm trying to think, maybe Lorelo didn't have that bad of a split, but
with the asterisks that, like,
top lane was garbage.
Top lane was in a bad spot, and none of them really performed super well.
I think you're right. I think Huni is probably objectively the best top laner. I think we should go with that. You guys want to move on to jungle?
Yeah, let's move on.
I think this one may be even spicier, dude. Like,
Dude, this
all
is
right,
good.
jungle.
The spiciest is gonna be mid lane, I think.
No, I actually think mid lane's kind of straightforward. I think there's only 3 options, but we'll get
Yeah.
there.
We only had
So
3 options. We only had 2 options for top lane.
that's true. But
Jungle.
I don't know. Jungle. Let's see like some potential options here. Meteos.
Svenskeren, for the first 6 weeks, looked like the best jungler.
Agreed.
And then
Mhm.
he's looked so bad in the last 3 that I can't say he's number 1. Like, there are certain times where you're like, all right, I got to look at the whole split, not just recent memory. But for a solid third of the split,
He was the best.
trash. What?
Oh, he was bad. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
For like the last like 3 or 4 weeks, he's been pretty bad.
Right. I think the only person who should really be considered, the only 2 people that should be considered are Meteos and Dardoch.
I agree. I think
would just say
Meteos.
Dardoch.
What?
I think
I
Meteos
would
has
only say, yeah, I would say Meteos and Dardoch. You're right.
Meteos has been consistently the best jungler in the league. I actually would say.
I don't think
I'd
he's
say
been
that.
consistently the best. I think
He's been consistent.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Like, great.
I
And
mean,
at times, like, he's been, let's say he's like 2 or 3. There's been a different 1 or 2 ahead of him. But that's been changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been so good.
All right.
And so consistent.
since we have this kind of narrowed down a little bit, why is Lyra not there?
He hasn't been playing as well. I think if you say that Lyra is a better jungler right now than Meteos or Dardoch, you have your like back in time goggles on and you're thinking he's back on Envy where he was like coaching the team, and that's just not happening. Like, he is not the reason that Clutch are winning.
Right. The conversation about Clutch is their mid and bot lane.
Yeah, it has, and like you hear on stream, like what happened to Lyra? Like, yeah, he's been playing better, but it's not like he's mind blowingly.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bottom tier.
He's not 1v9ing like he was before.
I would say he's like, maybe 4th or 5th best jungler, but like I don't know. I personally would put him in line with like Mike Young right now. Around that same.
I put Mike ahead of him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
In the last couple of weeks.
Come on, boys.
I don't know
Let's
if that's
calm down
a
a little
product
bit.
of TSM looking good again, or Mike Young starting to look good. I don't know, but his performance has stood out to me better than Lyra.
Okay.
All right,
My vote's
another one.
Meteos.
Why is Xmithie not here?
I would say the same thing that I said about Lyra.
He's a solid third.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's better. When I say that, I don't mean that to say he's the same. He's not the. When I say that, I mean he isn't as good as he looked last split
when
he was just the best.
Should have been MVP.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he's not looking that good, but he is still looking better than most.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wasn't Bjergsen Summer Split MVP last year?
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah, it should have been Xmithie or Ole. Man, I remember.
But that's the reason. But because they split the votes. That was the thing.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
No, I actually think
Person looked good.
I think that it's just 2 different styles of jungle.
Yeah.
Dardoch being the super mechanical.
Smithy's not
The super
unmechanical. He's just super smart.
I was actually about to compare Xmithie or Meteos and Dardoch, not Dardoch. I think that Dardoch being like the super mechanical, like he's gonna feed his top laner type of guy, and he's just going to be better than he's gonna try to be better than your jungler. And then I think Meteos is kind of like, I mean, he's a veteran. He's like one of the oldest junglers in the league right now, along with Xmithie, probably 2 of the oldest players. And then like Svenskaren's probably played just about as long as those guys too.
Yeah.
And his jungle style is just very controlled. He takes the plays that he knows he will win. You know, he's just a very smart player. I think it's
It's
just two very
controlled aggression,
yeah.
whereas
Dardoch is just aggression. But I think that overall, even though 100 Thieves went through that little bit of a slump in the middle of the split, I actually think Meteos was probably the best jungler in the league.
He looked fine.
Yeah. Because he would never get in a situation where he would feed. Like, you know, it wasn't like he was, you know what I mean? Like, Dardoch was feeding a little bit this past weekend in those Nocturne
Dude,
games.
that
You know,
second
like
game on Nocturne, why
he just
did you
was
pick Nocturne?
he was playing like garbage, man.
Oh
Like, it
my
wasn't
God.
good. It was bad. Like,
For those of you who want complete Nocturne commentary, my DMs are open.
all right. Well, I think we've decided on our jungle
Hootie,
pick.
Meteos, mid lane.
Let's move on to mid lane. Mid lane, all in the LCS Pro Team. Now, I said earlier that I think there are 3 obvious choices, and I still believe that. I think those 3 choices are Febiven, Jensen, Bjergsen.
Yep.
I agree.
Simple.
But I actually just say Febiven.
Well, let's before we discuss those 3, I'll say why is Pobelter not in the top 3?
He hasn't looked good.
Weeks 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
he had a slump in the middle that like he just shit the bed, like literally pooped on stage.
Yeah. Like,
Yes, but let's not forget the beginning of TSM
the first 4
Split.
weeks when he looked like the best mid laner in North
Yeah,
America.
but we're talking best mid laner.
Yeah.
We're not talking.
So this is why I think Jensen and Bjergsen don't deserve it.
And you think Febiven does
And I think
for pure
Febiven-
consistency?
Yeah.
pure consistency.
I agree.
Febiven
I
has
agree.
been top 3 the whole split long. Sometimes top 1. Sometimes number 1.
Sometimes top one.
Top
Just
one.
top one.
Top 1. Sometimes number 1.
Number
Not
one.
always, but that top 3 consistency, I think he's best in the league.
All right, I think
Great.
an analyst said something to the degree of, like, Febiven's not the guy that's gonna like hard carry your game, but he'll win you the game.
Yeah, that's a good
Like,
way to
he's
put
not
it.
he's not gonna be the dude that just like
He's not going to 1v9,
pops off. Yeah,
but
he's not
he's
gonna
going to be a
1v9.
win
He-
condition.
He'll win. He'll win you the game, which I think is a good way to look at clutch in general. But I think Febiven's probably, in terms of consistency and just being good for the whole split, probably the best mid laner. But I also think that Jensen has also been consistently good. I think it's hard. I think this is actually a really tough one.
No, I think Jensen had a few times where he looked off, and I can't remember one for Febiven.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, Bjergsen's
Are we
out
going with Febiven?
because early split. Bjergsen's out because...
He looked iffy the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, he did.
And
So.
yeah.
Yeah, Febiven. So, Huni,
All right.
Meteos, Febiven.
Let's move on to AD carry.
I think
This one's gonna be tough.
I think there's only one option.
Who is it?
I don't think there's only one.
Okay. In my opinion, there's only one.
Who is
It's
it?
Sven. It has to be Sven.
Ah,
Even when
dude.
TSM were struggling,
He was...
Sven and Hanser.
Say Sven and Mithy.
No, Mithy looked iffy a bit.
Well,
But-
then you can't say
I
Sven.
agree.
Because, like, the reason why Sven looks so good is because the way he dominated lane. And
Yeah.
that was with Mithy's help.
That's with Mithy's help, but Mithy would get caught out sometimes during the mid game. So I'm not talking specifically in lane. I'm talking like in the game as a whole. Mithy sometimes would get caught out, but Sven wouldn't.
I disagree.
Okay, I think
Because Vin was on Ezreal every game, and then you can't
it
get
worked
caught out when you're
though.
playing
Like he
Ezreal.
looked good on it, even when TSM were losing games.
I have 2 different picks for ADC.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
Apollo and Sneaky.
I would say I agree with Apollo. I wasn't thinking about Apollo. Oh no! You know who we're not thinking of? Cody's son.
Boom.
I was
We
about
got
to
it.
It
say.
has to
There
be
we go.
Cody's son.
Forgot
It
about
has to be
Cody's son.
Cody's
Dude,
son
we
has just
forgot about
been
Cody's
wrecking
son.
it. Like, how did we forget?
All right, I would
about
like to bring
Cody's
up
son.
this infographic. This infographic of the stats.
I forgot.
Uh,
about
We
Cody's
forgot
son.
about Cody's
Oh,
son.
man.
You said
Former
Apollo.
immortal. How did I forget?
You forgot about.
Oh,
you
my
have his jersey,
God.
don't you?
Oh.
You have the. Don't you have a Cody's son jersey?
What?
Do you have a
I
Cody's?
do. It's a gold Cody son.
Yeah.
That might be what I wear to the finals. I don't know, but jeez.
I'd like to point out, Cody's son has the most kills on the split. He also
What's his
has
KDA?
the highest kill
What's his
participation
KDA? Say it.
at 85.4%.
Say
His
his
KDA 8.2.
8 point, dude.
That is incredible.
When was the last time you had a consistent 8.2 KDA in solo queue? You haven't. You've
But he's
never
not-
done it.
He's not the highest KDA.
Is that double it? Is it sneaky?
Bjergsen is above him,
Oh, I'm
At
talking
8.5.
ADCs.
but above Bjergsen is Vin at 8.8 KDA. But once you get over an 8 KDA, does it really
It's all the
matter
same.
after that? You know what I mean? Like, it's 8.8 versus 8.2, it's all the same. But, alright, I actually think Cody's son was the best
I
AD
agree.
carry.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We got this.
Think he
Let's
was.
go.
But let's beg some couple questions here. Sneaky was probably a lot of people's choice before about week 7.
Yes,
And why is he not anymore?
because it's not before week 7.
No, I think he still played well in
No.
week 7, 8, and 9. I think he was the only one who looked just as good before and after.
As he was.
Yeah. But I still think Cody's son was better,
Yeah.
but I still think Sneaky was good.
Next one. Double lift. Why is he not there? The guy who has been probably the best AD carry in North
because
American
Team
League of
Liquid-
Legends history.
Team Liquid ended 4th.
It just looked
Fair
bad
enough.
in week 6,
I'll
7,
take
and
it.
8.
They looked
I will
worse
take
than
this argument.
Cloud9.
Yeah.
Week 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he
Cloud9
just
was
looked
shitting the bed.
Yeah, he looked great in week 9. Like, he came back. Looked,
Yeah, he did when they started playing to their strengths. But
Yeah.
when they weren't playing to their strengths,
Yeah.
he looked terrible.
I give it to
I say Cody's son.
Cody's son easy.
I think Cody's son across the board. I think we all agree on this. The dude's a monster. Like, he's just insane. To be fair, he's had probably the 2 best supports. If he, the only one he's missing out on is like playing with Smoothie. But like besides that, he's had like
In Biofrost.
Ole last split was like the best support. Afromu, top 1 or 2, looking real good. All right, we'll move on to support though.
I think we're going to differ on this.
I'll throw out a couple names. Smoothie, Afromu. I think that's really all we can really talk about. Smoothie or Afromu, I think is where the. But
I think Hakuho.
Hakuho probably deserves a mention.
If we're talking pre-week 6 or week 7, I would say Smoothie.
Oh, I still think Smoothie.
But taking the split as a whole, I'm going to say Afromu. By a very small margin.
Nah.
A very, very small margin.
Nah, I think it's Smoothie by a lot because Afromu, when he looks good, he looks great. But when he's off, it's because like he's playing Blitzcrank from behind, and it's just like, what do you do with that? You know, and Smoothie, I think really is the game changer. Much like with Biofrost for CLG, where like
Yeah.
if you let him take control, he can just revolutionize the team. Same with Smoothie for C9. And I don't see that with 100 Thieves. And maybe this is a better discussion for why I think Smoothie is MVP. Spoiler alert, I think Smoothie's MVP.
No way.
Yeah. So
Sure.
So yeah, maybe if you want to say that's a good MVP case for
Yeah.
Smoothie versus individually Afromu looks better, I guess I could see that.
my thing is I think that I think that Afromu overall is more than just a support. I think he's like
Same with Smoothie.
he is a support in the sense that he plays in the game as the support, but he's also like the heart of the team in a way. You know what I mean? He's like he like sets the tone for the team. He does a lot of the shot calling. You know, he does all of that. Um, and I'm not saying that that makes him the best support in the league. I think it's Smoothie. I think it's Smoothie, but yeah, I'm just saying. I think that there's a distinction to be made between the way that Smoothie handles a team and the way that Afromu handles.
I just look at Smoothie, and I think about how he put TL on a 3-week tilt. Like his roam up to the top lane on Impact
That's true.
tilted them for 3 weeks.
It's like the
Yeah.
That is insane.
it's like what the old Cassiopeia top just tilting TSM.
Yeah, you're just like,
Yeah.
All right, can we all agree that it's Smoothie? We all agree on that one. The best support
we're
in NA.
2-3
Smoothie.
on this. 2-1.
Who did you say, Carl?
You
I said Afro.
Oh man, now you got me
Well,
questioning.
here's how he came. Here's how I saw his argument. Smoothie is an MVP candidate because he has the ability to revolutionize C9 if he takes over shot calling. But even though Afromu is the shot caller for 100 Thieves, I don't see his shot calling as revolutionary for the team. Like, I think Meteos could do it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Meteos and Ryu
Right.
probably are just as good
I just
at
think individually,
being that voice.
Afromu is
His play
a better.
has looked
he has looked better, especially the last 4 weeks, than Smoothie.
And I don't agree that Afromu is the number one, but like it was a solid Smoothie
it's-
Afromu, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I see
It's
him
like
neck and neck.
that close. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that he's
Yeah, it's
light
definitely hard.
years above everybody else. No, I'm just saying it's like 2%.
Yeah,
It's
close.
really close.
Yeah.
So
Who are we going with? Smoothie?
yeah, I mean
I guess
it's a
Smoothie.
majority.
I think
All right, so here we go. The Dirty South Gaming, all NA LCS Pro Team. Starting from the top lane, Huni. In the jungle, we have Meteos. Mid lane, we have Bevan. AD carry, we have Cody Sun. And support, we have Smoothie.
that's
2 members from 100 Thieves. I like to
almost
call that.
3.
That's a,
Almost 3 because Afro.
Almost
Yeah.
3.
That was the only one that we were split.
It's the Immortals thing of last split where Flame was almost top laner.
Mm-hmm.
well, let's move on to our second discussion, which would be on the MVP, who we all agree to be the MVP. I want to say Smoothie, but like we were just talking about how
I think it's between Febby and Smoothie.
I think those are the two.
I think those are the
think
two you have to
Febvin
look at. And
is
for
a really
all of the
good
reasons
choice.
that we just talked about.
Yeah, but I give it to Smoothie
I give it to Smoothie. No, yeah, I give it to Smoothie.
because he Smoothie can hard carry the game
As a support.
as a support, and that's impressive. I don't see that
everything can.
out of
Yeah.
Febvin with his team. I think
No,
if
I
Febvin
think-
does a good job, Hakuo and Apollo and maybe even Lyra can still carry the team to victory. I think C9 needs Smoothie. Like, I mean, as much as I love Jensen and I think he's a good mid laner, I don't think he's going to carry the game without Smoothie kind of telling him what to do. And so that's why I give it to Smoothie. I think he's that valuable.
I think that's fair. But I
Long pause.
don't know. This is like a really tough one because our other friend that you've probably seen in a few videos if you're watching is Jared, and Jared has a very different idea of what an MVP means.
Oh.
Because like in the past, when Bjergsen has won MVP, it's often been Bjergsen or Jensen.
Yeah.
Is really for like 3 splits in a row. There it was like Bjergsen or Jensen, and or like in the spring of last year, it was like Arrow or Jensen. I think was really
Yes.
like the discussion. And Jared, his kind of viewpoint is just like, this is the best player. He is the best player in the league. He should be MVP. And that's kind of been his argument for an MVP versus like,
I think it's the other way
what
around.
does it mean to be the most valuable player?
I think it's the other way around. I think his issue with Arrow was that Arrow was the best performing, but Jensen meant more to C9. I think it was the other way around.
Maybe that's the way he does it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure
We
he
need
I
to
always
get
thought
him
it was
on here
like-
to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think is what we should.
Yeah.
So
But that's the
what
question.
we're
Is it
saying
the best player
though.
in the league, or is it the most valuable to that team?
Yeah, that's kind of like the difficult question. I think Smoothie is probably the most valuable to that team, but I do think that there is a really good argument for why Afromu would be the most valuable to his team. I know we just said that Ryu and Meteos could probably do the same thing,
And that Cody's son is.
but I think
by far the
Afromu.
best ADC in the league.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think it'd be okay if we went with Smoothie. I think he's a good choice. So
The only other person I would like think to put up is PoE. Is because like that, and with the most valuable to his team, like if you take him
in the sense that Optic literally can't do
Yeah, if you take
anything
him
if
away,
they had
like,
any
Optic
other
has
mid
nothing.
laner. Yeah.
like Acadian
Yeah.
and Arrow are great players, but without PoE, they wouldn't have gotten anything done. And so
Are awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think PO is
it's like that. That's
Probably
why I say PoE.
an underrated player
Yeah.
that we will hit
So
on
we're gonna
later.
go Smoothie for
Uh,
MVP. PoE, I don't think he's underrated, but I think people don't talk about his value to his team enough. They talk about how good he is, but not how much he means to his team. Of course, I also think
Let's do rookie of the split first, and then we'll do underrated players. So rookies this year we had Licorice, we had Solo, we had Onda. I guess you can't consider Stunt a rookie.
No.
No, because
he played more than two.
Yeah, Deftly.
Fly.
Dokla.
Who? Who's
Dokla.
Dokla.
Dokla did
Dokla?
play more than 3
Played
games.
3.
Optic.
No. Sorry. Who was Echo Fox's sub?
Papa Chow.
They didn't play. They didn't play 3.
Yeah.
Did they play 3 games
thought-
in the
No,
split?
you have to play more than one.
No, you have
I
to play
think.
more than 3 games.
Oh, more than 3.
Or no, you have to play 3.
No,
or more.
3.
Okay. Well, they
3
only
minimum.
played those 2,
3
so
minimum.
they can't be considered.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, they technically played 3, but I don't know if the third one would count.
Wait, they played? I didn't see their match against 100 Thieves. I'm gonna be honest.
They played all of the games in week 9, all of them. They played the tiebreaker match too. So I don't know if that counts. I don't know. Let's not count them.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
think
not.
they're gonna win.
No.
Let's not count them. I think really this comes down to Licorice or Solo,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually pretty hard.
It's hard because I can't think of what either of them really did. I mean, Licorice was looking good early in the split, but I think that was because Sven was looking good earlier in the split,
Yeah.
and Solo has just looked, okay. Like,
I mean, I think that Licorice had some games in the beginning of the split when I was like, oh wow, this guy.
whenever I was like,
Damn.
oh, maybe
You know,
C9
like,
didn't really lose impact.
yeah, you know, like this guy's really
But
good.
now
I
they're
think
like,
I think I texted all of
C9
you, and I
lost
was
impact.
like, C9 lost the
Awesome.
off season. You know, I think so yeah, I mean, he had like a couple games. I think he played Kled twice, where I was just like, what the fuck is it? Like,
Oh,
I've
he
never
did.
seen anybody play Kled like this, before.
Even
Like
Zig.
this is a kind of like a fringe pick. Zig actually was pretty good on Kled last
He
year.
brought it up
Let's
first,
be
I think.
honest. And then there's Solo,
He was just
who,
kind of there on a good team.
yeah, he was on a good team. He was on a good team, but was he really? Besides the games where he would play against Hooney, was there any like situation where you were like, man, this Solo guy's just getting pooed
Not
on?
really.
You know what I mean? Like,
And there were a couple
like
with Licorice. Even in the good games, like you were just like, Licorice isn't really pulling his weight. Thank God he's got a team. Solo, it was kind of like, keep doing everything right, your team's gonna win.
yeah.
So I think I'm on Solo now. I think we give it to Solo.
I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't be salty to give it to either of them. I think they're both good candidates, frankly. They're no Mike Young. They're not a Mike Young. Mike
Personally,
but
I
you know what I
want to
mean?
give it to Solo, just because I think Licorice, once the meta changed, he just looked so bad.
So you value the consistency over those first 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes.
So
I think that actually Solo was playing the same thing.
Yeah.
Besides the occasional gangplank in the beginning of the
He played
split
Jace.
when Camille was pretty. Did he play Jace?
Jason
Yes.
like week 1 or something.
It looked.
It was
How was it?
No.
Did they lose?
We're not gonna talk about it.
How was it? I'm actually really curious now.
It was Jace. It was North American Jace.
But basically what I'm saying is
Jace,
like
dude.
he played a few games of Gangplank that were pretty good, but besides that he's been on tanks almost exclusively.
Yeah, but he,
So I don't know his carry potential is basically what I'm saying. Whereas Licorice pulled out the Camille really well, the Kled pretty good, the Gangplank,
I'd rather have someone who could maybe carry and consistently play tanks than someone who can carry
Who
and not play tanks.
only care.
Also,
Yeah,
I
which I don't
would
think
rather have
Licorice
someone
can.
who's on an upward trajectory than a downward
Yes.
trajectory.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
So,
I think Solo is on an upward,
Yeah, I give it to Solo.
personally.
MVP Solo. I mean, rookie
You,
of the split.
oh,
Whoa!
holy shit!
Oh, that's a
my
big
god!
jump. Rookie of the split.
I'm actually
Solo.
really
Also,
curious about when Solo
sure to
played this chase game.
Catch his movie coming out real soon.
What the fuck are you talking
the
about?
Solo, the Star Wars movie.
Oh,
the
dude, I'm
Star
so
Wars
hyped
story?
about
Childish is Lando.
Yeah.
Like,
that.
it's gonna
I am
be
so
awesome.
hyped, dude. It's gonna be lit. Like, I agree. I actually think Solo takes rookie.
yeah.
I think Licorice was good. I actually think Licorice will win,
But I think it should
but
be
I think
Solo.
Solo deserves it just as much. All right, we're gonna move on to
Our final topic?
the last topic. Yeah, we already did our predictions. Our final topic is gonna be underrated players from this split. I would like to just preface this by saying underrated. I think that the most underrated players, maybe not for one of them within the past few weeks, but Clutch's bottom lane, underrated.
I think
Apollo and Hakuho,
Hakuho is
underrated.
underrated. I think Apollo's kind of gotten to that place where he's just.
If people say you're underrated for 2 years, I don't think you're underrated. Does that make sense?
That's a really good
Because
point. Actually.
people have been saying
Super
this
good.
bot lane is underrated for the last 2 years. If everybody is saying they're underrated, then they're not underrated.
That's why I wouldn't say both of them. I think Apollo
Oh my
has
God.
reached that point where he's just appropriately rated. I think Apollo and Hakuho are where they're supposed to be. But I think specifically Hakuho is not. I think he individually is underrated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like
Yeah.
Sven and Mithy as a package are great. Sven individually is great. But like the jury's out on Mithy right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So, yeah, I give it to Hakuho.
Yeah.
Underrated.
I would say Meteos, and I know we just gave him first team, but as a whole on the analyst desk and like the professionals, you might say
They might underrate him.
I think they underrate him. I think the league community
agree,
as a
actually,
whole
yeah.
underrates Meteos. You don't
Yeah.
see him talked about as much, and like
Yeah.
that. I think that he's such a staple, even though he took like a year or two off. I think he's such a staple, and people just expect him to do so well.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, this is like the thing about Meteos is like this is a guy who like at least in the West like reinvented jungling for like a hot minute there when C9 won like 3 splits in a row. You know, like he like I think it was
No,
3.
TSM's
Two
the
or
only
3?
team to win more than to win 3 splits in a row.
All right, well, it was 2, and then I think they won another one like after that in between. But the point that I'm trying to get is like Meteos was like the jungle king for like 2 years there. Like he was just a monster back then. And he may not be that now, but he's still like that kind of guy. And I think I think he is slightly underrated, but I think he's picking up steam with 100 Thieves finishing in first.
The regular season.
Well, let's remove ourselves from maybe these top teams.
I think
you mentioned PoE.
Yeah, PoE underrated. Arrow overrated.
I don't think Arrow's
I don't
overrated
think
at all.
Arrow's
I think
overrated
Arrow's
because people right now.
yeah.
Aren't rating him
Nobody's talking about Arrow, and nobody should be. So, like, that's kind of where I am at.
Okay, maybe. I think he's maybe overvalued. Is that a better way to put it?
Fair enough.
Like, I don't know. As an Optic fan, I think what they do is they keep PoE and Acadian and shop the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think we talked.
We talked about that last
2
week.
weeks. No, it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Same.
Okay.
You know,
Who else? Who else on some of these lower tier teams?
I
actually think Matt had a pretty good split on Golden
Matt
Guardians.
really good. I don't think he's underrated though. I think a lot of people have been talking about how he's really coming into his own, and he's returning to that like Matt life form. That
I think
I
it
don't
also
think
has
he's
to do with
underrated.
the
I
meta
think he's
coming
there.
back into a spot where he can play Thresh.
Yeah,
Right. Like.
hard.
Well, he was like almost one tricking Rakan for like the past few weeks. He's been playing a lot of Rakan.
I want to say that Bjergsen is an underrated. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I would say though, as far as like some of the higher tier teams though, I think Sneaky is just like perpetually underrated player.
I think he was underrated the first half of the split. Because people are always careful to give Sneaky too much credit because he's looked so bad previously.
Sneaky and lane.
There's the sneaky. And
His laning phase is better now though. He's good.
But like, so people are always a little apprehensive to give him credit where credit is due because they don't want to overhype him because you never know when he might start looking bad again.
Speaking of overrated or overhyped,
Double lift.
Ole.
Ole, yeah. Ole was
fallen
just
off
not.
real hard. Hopefully he'll come back into form for playoffs, but like overrated.
I was just
People still
man,
talk about how he's like this awesome support, and then you watch him play.
I don't know, dude.
No.
Personally, dude, like take fucking Matt, put Matt where Ole was, and I bet TL's just as good.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're better.
I don't know,
with
man.
Matt than Ole.
No,
but
I think they're just as good.
And maybe
You know who would?
It is a.
You know who would make Team Liquid look even better though?
BioDaddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
I don't
need
know,
Biofrost.
Actually, I'm not sure because I just can't see it. Like I think TL's problems that they had won't be remedied by a better support. Well, maybe Afro Moon.
No,
But
I don't think so.
what, you think they'd be remedied by better support, or you also don't think so?
No, I don't think they would be fixed by better support.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe Afromu, like the only one, but other underrated players, I think we actually talked about him a lot earlier. Would be Darshan, Biofrost.
Yeah.
I think both are
Darshan.
underrated a little bit.
I don't know. I kind of want to say. Where's the Medios? Do you want to move to some overrated players?
Yeah, I've been trying to
Wiggle our way over there.
Yeah.
I want to say Huni is overrated, only because he can't carry his team right now. Like he's like, not that he can't carry his team, he's just not doing what is necessary to carry his team. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry, trying to fix this lighting. Better? There we
Yeah,
go.
it's a little better.
Ugh, this is atrocious for me to look at, but
Uh,
okay,
A
yeah.
little better.
Yeah, definitely Huni. I mean, we were struggling with talking about him in general
Yeah.
as an all NA LCS top laner, so I think Huni is probably a good candidate
and,
for
like,
overrated.
Maybe not anymore, because a lot of people have been saying he's overrated. So like what I said earlier about him, about if everybody says you're underrated, you're not underrated. And a lot of people have been saying that he's overrated, so maybe he's not overrated. But I just...
I agree. No,
I think it goes back to also the discussion that we were having about how the top lane was just kind of
it's
like
hard
a
to know.
meh.
Yeah.
It was just meh this split. So it's like hard to say like, oh man, that guy was just so much better. It's like, yeah, Huni was shitting on people in the first like 4 weeks, but after that, it was like,
I think it
You
just,
know, like-
it's kind of just like people found out Echo Fox.
One last person I think I want to point out, and this is,
under or over.
I want you to tell me which, because I can
Oh.
see it both ways.
Oh God.
Oh, I think I
it's
know
about to
who
get
this is.
spicy.
Contracts.
I think I know who this is.
Oh.
Who'd you say?
Contracts.
Oh.
Who'd you think it was?
You know who had the most deaths this split?
Contracts.
Contracts.
I just.
But people are still like,
I
oh my
thought
God, he
I
was so great
actually-
last year at Worlds. So is he overrated?
He was.
But
He was
really,
though.
the
Like,
times that FlyQuest was winning,
It's because
he
of
was
contracts.
making plays. So is he underrated? Like which way? So I can see it.
I actually still think that Cloud9 made a slight bit of a mistake by getting rid of him. Actually,
Technically,
I
they
think
didn't
that
get
they
rid
should
of
have
him.
kept
No,
He
him.
left.
Contracts left. They didn't
Yes.
get
That's
rid
true.
of him.
That's true.
They were gonna.
They should have tried
explore
harder to
op-
keep him.
options
Yeah.
and,
Excuse
like,
me. They
talk
should have
to-
tried harder to keep him.
I think
And he was
Cloud9
like-
said they would match any offer that he got from somewhere else.
They did
But
because
he still didn't want to play for Cloud9. So, like, there's nothing you can do then.
he didn't want to play for Cloud9 because he didn't want to be compared.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say we're getting rid of you. They said we're going to be like comparing you out.
To other
he was
people,
like,
yeah.
I want to just go where I'm wanted from the
Hey!
get-go, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
One I think that we should do underrated, overrated, or neutral. I'm gonna add that one in.
Okay.
Double lift.
Neutral.
Ooh.
Where
I
is
love
Double Lift?
Double Lift. I fucking
Where is Double Lift
love
actually
this dude.
rated though?
And he
Where is
looks
he actually rated?
terrible.
No. He does not look
Doesn't look
terrible.
terrible.
Okay, terrible.
He was-
sorry. Terrible relative to where he's been before.
Right.
Okay, I mean anytime I say someone looks terrible, I usually mean relative to where to their potential
performance.
and where they have performed before. And
I'll accept that.
Double Lift right now, just it hurts my soul.
Where is he though? Like, is he a top 3 AD
Yes.
carry? Is he a
I don't really want to give
who,
him
who
top
does he
3.
beat out? If
I
Cody's
say
son is the
top
best,
5, but I say Cody's son is better.
Yeah.
I say Sven is better.
Yeah.
I say
yes.
I think he's
Sneaky
tied with
is
Sneaky.
better. No, I say Sneaky is better right
I
now.
think he's tied with Sneaky.
I think Sneaky has been performing better than.
So he's at like that 3-4 area.
That's
No.
where I put him. Do you put Apollo above him?
No.
Do you put Arrow?
No, definitely not. I think he is equivalent with Sneaky. I
I
agree.
think he's tied third.
I think he's
Sneaky.
fourth. I think Cody Suggs.
Dude, I'd even
Sven,
throw Apollo in
and
there. I'd say
Apollo.
Sneaky,
Or sorry,
Sneaky
Cody
double at
Suggs,
Apollo
Sven.
or
Everybody
all.
tied for third?
No, I
Yeah,
think
dude.
I think just like Team Liquid, he's fourth.
Team Liquid has the fourth best ADC, fourth best mid, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth.
I'd say top 3 junglers still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Top 3
these-
jungler. I think that's the.
Ole's top 10.
Ole's
He's definitely top 10.
and then-
Ole's top 10.
Ole's top 10.
No, I think Ole's
Impact is like
Ole's probably
top 7.
Impact. No, dude.
When maybe
Currently-
once he gets his
currently-
playoff.
Currently, in
He's
the
Top
playoffs,
4. He
Top
might
three.
be fourth. He might be.
he might be fourth.
He might be. So fourth, top mid and ADC. Woo! Now in the playoffs,
Are there any other?
things could change.
Are there any other overrated players or underrated players
I think
we can look at?
Mithy-
I actually think
I think
Someday is
Mithy
slightly
is
underrated.
A little overrated.
No, I don't think Mithy's under or overrated at all.
I think
I think
there's a
he's
lot of
about where he
criticism
should be.
thrown at Mithy, and it's merited.
Okay, I just might not hear the criticism at him.
There's not a lot of praise that goes his way.
Mhm.
That's
I don't
one
think
thing
there's
I've
much
noticed.
praise that should go his way.
I don't think there's a lot of praise, and I'm actually questioning where this criticism you're saying comes from because I
it's
haven't heard
it's the
very
same
many
stuff that's
people.
been happening since last year on G2.
The fact that he's like mechanically meh,
Yeah,
and he's just kind of like a better.
he's a decent shot caller.
He's
got
like a
good
coach
knowledge,
in the team.
But he
Yeah.
just sits and like it's basically just Sven's worst half. You know.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
mechanically
it's the same thing that people have been saying for forever.
Whatever.
And that's I think it's true.
Who else? I think that's it. I don't really know anyone that's been over or underrated or not looked at exclusively. I mean, I don't know. I think Hakuo is probably the most underrated player in the league, I think, frankly.
Hakuo.
But
Individually.
yes, individually.
Not Apollo and Hakuo. Just
All right, are we good, guys? Is
That's the
that our
I
is
think
that
that's
our
the end
I
of
do
the
want to
regular
say
split.
one thing before we
Oh.
close this out.
Jared.
sent me a prediction for playoffs, and it would
Oh,
be
sneaky? Yeah.
So he says, and I quote, "My prediction for playoffs is Sneaky gets back on Jin and spanks everyone." I agree with this. We saw Double Lift pull out the Jin last week, the last week, and that champ looks good right now.
Yes, I just don't see TL giving it to Sneaky.
I don't think Jin's a good champion.
Uh,
I'll be honest. I don't think Jin's a good champion. I think that this entire split has revolved around teams feeding their AD carry and their AD carry pushing out so much DPS that the other team can't deal with it. Jin doesn't do DPS.
I agree.
Jin does 4 shots and an ultimate.
I agree, except I think that C9 with Jensen
Cassiopeia.
on like someone like Cassiopeia and Impact doing Impact things.
That's on Team Liquid.
Sorry.
It's Team Liquid, dude.
You're right.
What the hell?
I would agree if Impact
Impact
were on
was
C9.
on C9.
I don't agree because he's on the
Sorry.
other team.
Yeah. Okay.
So I still go with TL wins against C9.
Oh yeah, I think TL wins against C9,
He doesn't.
but
Did
I
it?
do think that Jin is a champion that can work for C9.
Yeah, I think so.
When you have
Yeah.
Jensen.
He's just so much more of like a supportive AD carry, and like
But
I know
see
that
it
we
working
put
in competitive that doesn't work in solo queue.
yeah I know that we put like Cody-san at the top of NA of
He plays a pretty
at the
good
as the best AD carry. He plays a decent Jin,
Right.
but I much rather prefer Cody-san on a
Tristana.
hybrid carry. I think Tristana, Varus, you know, something like that. I think he's just
I
better.
want to see him on Vayne.
Oh god, his veins disgusting. Go look up
Oh.
videos. From...
Dude, stop it, Carl. You
I wanted to see.
getting
I
hot and
wanted to
heavy
see
over
Cody
here,
Soda
dude.
and Kaisa. I just wanted to see how dirty
I don't
that
know
would
about that
be.
champ, dude. Like, I haven't played a lot since she was released, but like, she just came. I don't know.
She's got
But they're buffing
Yeah,
her.
actually, the
weaknesses.
patch notes came out today, so like, you know,
They're-
we're already into a different world now. So.
They're buffing her.
Yeah, her weaknesses are too great. My worry is that her strengths are also too great.
But like one of her weaknesses is that 500 range, and they're
Yeah.
extending it to 525.
Yeah, they're making
would be
it longer range.
I mean, it's in the patch that's coming out,
No, I know.
They're doing it.
But it hasn't come out
Yeah.
yet.
but it's in the patch notes.
But it would be good.
It's coming out in like a day.
Yeah, Ken.
So.
But when it would be good when it happens. Like, it's a future tense.
But it is going to like it's in the patch notes, so it's
All right,
going
it
to
will
happen.
be good. All right.
There we
The
go.
Future versus the conditional. Man, what the hell? Nobody watching this cares about the grammar or
I
the
care.
verb tense.
I care because I care about the production value.
Oh my god.
And
All right,
people might
we're
do
done.
this.
We're gonna go have a burger.
Okay.
You guys have
I don't give a fuck about grammar. I would just like to point that out. I write a lot, and I have good grammar when I write. But besides
That's
that.
what matters.
All right, well, that was it, guys. Share with us what you considered about our All LCS Pro Team. Give us your ideas for what you considered your best pro team, your MVP, your rookie of the split, your underrated players.
That would be awesome.
Tell us about all of them.
Also, if you're gonna be in Miami,
Say hello.
Yeah.
say hello.
Carl and Ken are going to Miami. They're probably going to try to talk to some pro players, because
Why not?
why the hell not?
Not
We may
pro
try to
players.
talk to some pro players on the show. We're gonna try to get that together. I'm really excited for the games this weekend. I hope you guys are too.
It's gonna be so much fun.
This split was really, really good.
Yeah,
it was a great split for
I
League
think
of Legends.
franchising has done a lot.
Yeah.
for NA.
100 Thieves, a new organization at the top.
With old players.
That's awesome. Yeah, Clutch also made it to playoffs at the top. So that's really, really
Team
cool.
Liquid back and forth.
Franchising
it
has done
just
well.
Established the proper order.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
That's
no,
what
the
it
proper
really is.
order. The proper order. We know proper order is still there when TSM makes the finals. I'm not saying they have to win the finals, but when they make the finals.
That would have to be.
Man, if TSM doesn't make the finals, holy shit.
They have to. They have to lose.
They have to win
Echo
2
Fox, and
games,
I don't see
2
that happening
series.
They have to lose to Echo Fox.
in order to not make finals. Assuming they beat Clutch.
If they beat Clutch, they play Echo Fox.
Yeah.
And they beat Echo
Yeah.
Fox,
I think so.
so they make the finals.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching. This is the DSoG vlog. Join the revolution. Follow us on Twitter. Like and comment. Share this with your friends. We're just trying to get views. We're trying to get people to watch. Yeah, hopefully we've seen some information on YouTube that may allow us to live stream this. So that's super cool.
Yes, we can watch.
So we may be able to be live streaming in the near future. Hopefully, probably for next split, we'll be able to do that. Yeah, join the revolution. Dirty South Golden Age.
Golden Age.
And we love you guys. You love us.
Little mini job.
Peace out, fam.
Yeah, we're officially a company.